This episode of My Happy Marriage will bring you to your knees, choke you out, and have you saying, "I hate Cousin NTR." After an episode where Kiyoka and Mio shared the same bed, this is perfect timing for mind invasion when your brainwaves are most confused during bedtime. Prince Takahito and Saimori Mio are at the Imperial Palace being protected by the nation's strongest like Kiyoka, Takakura, and Arata. Now, Usui and the Gifted Communion cult make their move to usher in this new world where everyone will have access to knowledge, power, but equality comes with a price. You just have to become a demon! For this video, we're going to be covering My Happy Marriage, Season 2, Episode 22, Yume no Shirase. In many ways, this episode is an episode that we've all been waiting for, as the past two have been kinda slow. This is the one that is gonna break people's hearts when the government gets a bad rap, and deservingly so. And with the cult ideology infesting the minds of its citizens, Godo and crew must protect them anyways. Even if the citizens hate you, they use their fire abilities on the grotesqueries to no effect. But things get realer when a man takes off his clothes, and so Godo shows that he's more than just a simple sidekick archetype that runs into obvious traps. He's a man with real bronze and sends this monster to the ground, leaving us a mystery of what this yellow glow may mean that maybe the doctor from before can figure out. The minister of the army's people are becoming weary of the rat in the military. Everything points to the minister of education and his secretary acted very strangely from the episode before. However, the minister himself is very dismissive of Naoshi in the Gifted Communion. Clearly, this guy has never gotten his brains blasted before. Or has he? When one guy catches on to Naoshi's plans, they become a target for elimination as one of the Gifted Communion members makes a bedazzling appearance before a good guy and tells him, "You're cooked," and sets him on fire. Unan Jakiji, doctor and relative of Kiyoka, quickly finds out exactly what was going on with the poor NPC that had all that power, but couldn't maintain his sense of self with the side effect of
demon
being too strong. It looks like that little glowing yellow thing is what is preventing everyone's abilities from having an effect on the monsters.
Oh look!
It's Kaya's man's cooler older brother, Tatsuishi Kazushi. You know things are getting real when all the side characters are starting to have highlighted moments of their own. Kazushi picks up the little ball to try to determine everything about how this item was formed. Thus, the mystery continues.
mind invasion.
Mio finds herself in another time period at the Saimoris, where Sumi was holding a baby Mio. Now she came to visit Sumi to tell her all about his cult to save the world, because we all know that the emperor is corrupt. Sumi just wanted a simplistic life with her daughter and accepted her place in the Saimori family and doesn't need Naoshi to be her protector anymore. However, that was not in Naoshi's plans, to be denied by someone you loved and protected all this time, to fight for something meaningful like corruption and protecting the Usuba family rather than choosing a more simple life like Sumi did. Naoshi still chooses revolution. Without realizing it, Mio has been using her dream sight all this time. How? It's still unclear, but Naoshi explains that she's been watching his dreams and that he can't actually do anything to her in those dreams, so she could just chill out. What some women might not understand about their power on men is that they fight wars for love, even if the girl doesn't want it. Selfish, I know. Now she continues to explain that his idea of peace using his tactics like killing the Saimoris isn't exactly going to result in the peace he wants. He wants the Usubas to rule the nation by leading this revolution and gifting it to Mio. This is Naoshi still feeling like he's fulfilling his role for the Usuba family and for the late Sumi by giving it to her daughter. In order for Mio to lead a nation, she has to awaken her powers that allow her to control the minds of everyone. And for Mio to fully awaken her powers, we need a catalyst, don't we? And that catalyst will be yeeting Kudo Kiyoka! Mio wakes up and runs outside to see the end of this age's cherry blossoms with the pure white snow, symbolizing a new age. She has finally realized how dire the situation has become and has taken matters into her own hands. Except, it's a little too late. The Ministry of Education Secretary Butler arrives, catching bodies along the way, only for Hazuki and Yurie to find out what the commotion is all about, only to walk into the villain's imaginary hands. Yurie runs to get help, and Mio runs away as Hazuki uses her powers to momentarily keep the butler in place. But clearly, this isn't equality of power, as she quite simply just gets choked out. The Secretary Butler cultist takes out the ball that makes you immune to supernatural abilities and fully accepts the side effect of demon. Kazushi is still trying to decipher this ball thing. It ends up cutting it in half to find a grotesquerie claw within it. This is apparently what is turning humans into demons. With Kazushi figuring out how this ball turning demon item works, he is able to dispel its abilities amongst the other demon possessed. With Mio on the run, Yurie brings an NPC guard to a passed out Hazuki, who is finally waking up. She sends out a Shikigami to ask for help while Mio has to deal with this big, bad, ball-swallowing demon. It snags her up, with Mio on the verge of being crushed to death. Now she is forcing Mio to call for Kiyoka's help, but Mio shall not. The little Shikigami protection that Kiyoka gave Mio makes a move to put one to the dome of the demon. Mio is being pushed to the edge and has to do something. The story has put everyone in a weird spot. Aren't we supposed to want Mio to awaken her powers? But isn't that what now she wants?
Oh my god.
I think our minds are being bedazzled. Mio takes the demon into her void world, where apparently only cherry blossoms reside. Damn, someone else got dome shot too. No wonder the government is falling apart. Whether it's from the outside or inside, everyone is getting headshots. The Minister of Education just dropped the Minister of the Army. But let's be honest, the Minister of the Army was just a tool. So it looks like the Minister of Education, his aims were quite simply to become the Prime Minister of Naoshi's new nation. One of Naoshi's men comes to report that the military facility is now under their control. Why is taking over the government in the show so easy? With the Emperor being corrupt and Naoshi corrupting more higher ups, there is certainly a new age coming, alright. Naoshi is saving the Emperor's life before he yeets him, likely to expose his corruption to the public, making the public lose faith in Prince Takahito and the current government, and having everyone on the cult side. We're back with Mio against the demon. She sinks the demon along with her into the abyss. But a man has to be a man no matter what. With Mio's life on the line, he comes to save Mio in classic heroic fashion. However, he didn't come alone. He brought the right person for the job in Tatsuishi. With Mio in Kiyoka's arms, it's a position that we are all expecting and also familiar with, which makes it the perfect time for character development. If things were more in checkmate, Arata reveals himself as the man that put 2 holes in Kiyoka's body. With the Emperor in the gifted communion's possession, Naoshi has taken over a large part of the empire. People has to say as he do, and they have labeled Kudo Kiyoka as an enemy of the nation who attacked the Emperor. And so Arata and the gifted communion arrest Kiyoka. Mio asks Arata,
Why is he doing such a thing?
Arata says that everything is for the Usuba family and for you, Mio. I mean, they've been getting screwed this entire time, and they are literally the most powerful family around. Imagine all of these people forcing something upon you that you don't want. I always knew I couldn't trust you, cousin NTR. As Kiyoka is clearly suffering. He asks Arata if he could say something. He wants to tell Mio before he ends up dying. Aishiteru, with the blood's betrayal dripping from this epic moment, Kiyoka passes out with Mio dropping to the ground, crying in despair. I can't help but feel that the back half of this episode, it was kinda rushed. I think this is the episode where the creators, they went, let's just leave everyone speechless. That was the kind of delivery I think that they were going for, where everything just suddenly happened like back to back to back. As a whole, the episode I think was good. The ending was good, but there are moments I thought it could have been a lot better. And since there is a level of predictability that the story is leading us on, I was just hoping for a more dramatic delivery. From an animation point of view and how these scenes are delivered, from being storyboarded along with all the music, that is where the anime should enhance those feelings and those emotions. You could literally write out exactly what happens in these moments and we will already feel devastated, meaning everything that happened was catastrophic for Mio. From Hazuki getting choked out, to Mio almost sacrificing herself, and then being saved by Kiyoka, to being blasted by Cousin NTR. And now, he's being arrested? So the feelings and the emotions that come from the drama and misdirection, I just thought that could have been better. But overall, I thought everything was fine. Guys, I can't hold in my feelings when it comes to useless MCs. Mio is unfortunately, she's been in this category for a majority of the season. Until now, she's finally ready to embark on her own journey without the help of Kiyoka. At least, not physically there. Anytime where there involves a large cast of characters that all kind of need to be together, there's always an arc that separates them. And that usually involves some kind of blackmail, some kind of kidnapping. But in this arc, it involves a false flag and false accusations. So that separation is needed for Mio's character development and Kiyoka's own as well. Without Kiyoka, Mio has to be the hero, and we are all waiting for it. For this entire season, it has been teasing Mio's abilities being awakened and showing to us that she actually needs to help herself. In season 1, it took Mio basically the whole season, 12 episodes, before she actually became that. She was able to overcome her trauma and become that hero and save Kiyoka. Now we are in a similar situation in a similar amount of time span, where she pretty much has to do the same thing, except the stakes are even higher. With the whole empire on the line, when pushed to the brink, you have to overcome no matter what. My belief is her character is to show us that no matter how crappy her life was from the very beginning, growing up with the Saimoris, she can overcome anything. And when her abilities, it has something to do with her mind, that feels like the ultimate come up. So this begins like the most satisfying part of Mio's arc. This is now her hero's journey, along with potentially the help of Kiyoka. And this is why I continue to say that Naoshi is a top tier villain. You can relate to his feelings of resentment, as like Arata, they were bred to literally play a certain role in the empire. So their family and their powers have always been taken advantage of. This is his way of breaking the shackles of being in a Suba in the current state of the empire. So technically, from his point of view, he's protecting his family and he's helping tell the public, the citizens, the average folk. He's about to expose all the corruption that had to do with the emperor. So taking over the empire, building a new world in his vision, giving everyone this wealth of knowledge and power, that is the kind of sentiment that starts a revolution. That the average person that feels screwed over in their life because of the government, they can all get behind that. And so the entire concept of the Gifted Chameleon and Naoshi is great because the bad guys speak from a level of truth. It just comes down to how they want to create this better world. Usually villains want to do it by force. And what we have here is something forceful. This is someone forcing their ideals, forcing someone to live in a way that they don't want to live like. And I believe that is what makes Usui Naoshi our mind bedazzler a villain? Is it really freedom to live in a way that you don't want? So what he's been done wrong by, he's actually doing the same thing back. I think this episode was already great on its own, especially on paper. There's just too many major plot moments that shifted the whole feel of the entire story. A villain that is continuously winning and making strong points. We have a hero that is a hero until he's betrayed by cousin NTR. And we have an MC who her entire life has been traumatized by her own family, being mistreated. Now her back is against the wall and she must become the thing that we are all waiting for if she wants to save the world, or she could just rule the world apparently. All of that was in this episode. It was a good episode, but I think overall, season 2 as a collection of episodes, this is probably somewhere in the middle, as things could have been a lot better in my opinion in its delivery, but it was fine. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this episode of My Happy Marriage. I'm sure people are gonna have tons of opinions about this episode, but what I wonder most is, how did you guys like the ending of this episode? Did it hit you guys really hard? Was the animation okay? I would love to know. And do me a favor guys, hit the like button if you hate Cousin NTR. And subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Check out my blog at otakusin.com. And I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.